Man, this one really, really stinks. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Bula coming at you with another live stream of the DMVSportsZone channel. As we have everyone here, the Fab Five, coming at you with a tough loss as the Washington Commanders lose in overtime, 31-34 against the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. This one really hurts, man. As you can see, gut punching. Everything just hurts about this, and I think we'll start off with Naughty. What are your immediate thoughts after the game?
I love the grit that this team showed. I don't know what the Eagles were doing, go for a touchdown at the end of the fourth quarter instead of, I think it was 2nd and 4. They could have just run down the clock and kicked the field goal, especially with their clutch kicker that they have out there. But they went for a touchdown. Sam Howell. I mean, he climbed back. He climbed back in and scored a touchdown with what, 2 seconds left?
There was
zero. The clock was zero.
No. I mean, there was 2 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it was incomplete, and they stopped it with 2.
Yeah. So shout out to Sam Howell. Defense, not great. Emmanuel Forbes. We need to start talking more about the conversation that Abdullah has led and a lot of other people as well have led the last couple of weeks, which is Emmanuel Forbes over Christian Gonzalez? ?
Got so much hate for it too. People are saying it's too early, but hey, man, look at it, bro.
I don't know about that, bro. I think I'm with you on this one, bro. But yeah, I mean, I love the grit that this team showed. I can't be too mad at the team. They showed a lot of fight today. They did give up 34 points, but at the end of the day, we forced the game into overtime against the unbeaten Philadelphia Eagles, the team that was in the Super Bowl last year. It sucks because we all despise the Eagles and their nasty fan base, but it is what it is.
Naeem.
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot, I've been on a reaction in a long time, man. But like after these Commanders games, man, I don't really want to talk about anything. But after today, bro, I don't know if you want to say robbed or what, bro. But man, that Terry McLaurin call still stings a little bit. I don't know if he was in bounds or out of bounds. It's still tough to call. But man, like Sam Howell, bro, I've been on the train with Abdullah since day one. I've been saying it. He's got all the intangibles, bro. That man's a baller, bro. And he showed it today. He led that comeback. All around good performance. Emmanuel Forbes, I'm gonna give him some slack because going 1-on-1 with AJ Brown the whole game is not something easy to do. And it's obviously
why did the defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio continue to put him 1-on-1 against AJ Brown?
Because we know JDR, bro. JDR, like he does a lot of things good, but then he does a lot of things that are very questionable. And it was just one of those. It was one of those like games where it was just like not a good call to do. But like again, like I mean, let's just talk about the whole secondary in general, the whole defense in general. Like they haven't started off. Well, the D line sacks wise, pressures wise, they're good, but like coverage, giving up passing yards, it's been pretty bad through the first couple of weeks. And I don't know. I think we play Chicago this Thursday, right? I don't think we have to worry about that too much. I'm gonna say right now, we whooping the Bears, man. I'm gonna be there first. Hey, no. We're whooping the Bears, bro.
Don't say that.
Wait a minute.
Don't say that. Don't say we don't have to worry about any team.
Don't say that now, man.
You don't gotta worry about any team.
Don't say that.
No game lightly. We take 0 games off over here. All
I
right?
take Justin Fields lightly.
We take 0 games off over here. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a good good performance by the team. Not too mad about it. So
Noah.
Yeah, echoing similarly, I think that this is one of those weeks where you just take the positives and move forward. We talked about before this call that this is a very dangerous place to be in the season. I think they even mentioned it today at the Bills-Dolphins game. Losing the first game of the season was the best thing that ever happened to the Buffalo Bills because it humbled them. I think for the Commanders, we're in a little different situation. We're not a Super Bowl favorite. We had the highs of beating some pretty bad teams and, very small losses to some good teams. I think that's one thing, too, is going to keep us hungry, keep us humble. And I actually think that Del Rio made the right decision on Emmanuel Forbes being man-on-man with A.J. Brown. If he's going to be a lockdown corner in the future, we have to have him have a welcome to NFL moment. He has to get better. That's another thing, too, about Christian Gonzalez. He's not as refined of a corner as Ford was coming out of college.
No, matchups are everything, especially late in the game. I get it, like, for most of the game, maybe you can put him on A.J. Brown, but late game situation, game on the line, you got to shut down Fuller, right? The cornerback that's been our best cornerback the entire season thus far.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, big players make big plays, and we need to have him get in the situation to do so. That's what Bill Belichick does well. The reason Gonzalez looks so damn good is they already have a pretty deep corner room, and he wasn't afraid to put Gonzalez and Tyreek Hill. It could have went easily the other way. Tyreek Hill could have easily burned him. But if we want Forbes to be the number one corner of the future, that's what you do. Your best corners, your best prospects got to have the ability to make plays. That's a big reason why, we'll probably talk about it later, why I said that Chase Young is Jadeveon Clowney, because he does not make big plays in big moments without the heavy blitz. Yes, his stats look good so far this season, but there has not been a single play where I've said Chase Young is a game wrecker. He's not a Max Crosby. He's not a Joey Bosa. He's not a Nick Bosa. He's not a Micah Parsons. He can only create sacks when there's a designed play for him. So we need to see Emmanuel.
Oh, you're right. He's not one of the Bosas. He's better, right? He's better. Better.
Yeah,
right? That's what we all said, right?
16 with superstar development, But in all seriousness, we have to see what we have. I think that's with teams like the Commanders that don't have the expectation to make the playoffs, but we can make it. We got to see what we have with our young players. I think before what made the Redskins, I don't know, the haunted Redskins name, what made them so good was they gave the opportunity to Alfred Morris. They gave the opportunity to Clint Portis. They gave the opportunity to Robert Griffin III to show that they had the skill. What happened after is questionable, but we needed to figure out what we had. I mean, even Kirk Cousins, it's easy to say Kirk Cousins is mid, Kirk Cousins is this. But Kirk Cousins would never have a chance to be on the Vikings right now if the Redskins did not allow him to play. That's the same thing we're doing with Sam Howell. He made mistakes. He makes mistakes. He's still a raw young quarterback. We're going to do that for Sam Howell. Then we got to do that for Forbes as well. Because if we find out quickly he doesn't have what it takes, then we got to move forward. Franchises move too quickly. You have to find what you have. And your first round draft pick should at least be okay. So he needed to do this. So like you said, we're going to go and get Chicago. Even Chicago, they got DJ Moore he's going to be on. Or Darnell Mooney. Like Cole Kmet had a pretty good game too. Underrated tight end. There's a lot of players. No matter how bad a team is, they're always going to have a decent receiver. Forbes got to prove that he's going to be a good player. I think even if he's a rookie, it doesn't matter. We got to throw him to the fire and see if he's all smoke or he's actually going to walk through it. So I think it was a questionable decision, but Del Rio is an old school guy. He's an old school coordinator. And that's, he's had some really good players with him in the past for that very reason. Because he doesn't want to shy away from the moment. So I think it was overall good performance from the team. Can't be too mad. The Eagles are, arguably a Super Bowl favorite. So, we could be the Bengals. That could be, we're in a pretty good place. We could be the Bengals or someone else.
That is true.
That's true.
Evan?
Well, personally, first of all, I was gonna play devil's advocate on Emmanuel Forbes, but Noah beat me to it. But
great minds think alike.
Yeah, because basically all I was gonna say that you didn't say was the opposite to putting Emmanuel Forbes on AJ Brown would have been to have him go on Devontae Smith. That's basically where I would have went. But like, if you ask me, despite the loss, this team looked like a playoff team. This team looks like an absolute playoff team. Because they came out, they punched Philly in the mouth, and they actually outscored the Eagles in the second quarter and the fourth quarter. The only quarter where Philly had the scoring advantage was the third. But that's not what I'm about to talk about. What I'm about to talk about is the whole week leading up to this game, I kept wanting one thing from this team. I wanted them to never forget that loss to the Bills. Don't forget what happened. Don't forget how that made you feel. Use that frustration, use that anger as motivation. And let me tell you, the offense today looked like they took last week to heart. Because, I mean, Philly has one of the best defenses in the league. We all know this. But Washington, 365 yards total offense. The running game was established, and they looked pretty good. B-Rob got another touchdown, really almost had two. And then the best part of it, Sam Howell. We asked how he was going to respond to the worst game and really the first overall flat out bad game he had this season. Like this season, the first one that like no one can say was good or anything like that. We wondered how he would respond to that, and he was a general today. He made smart plays. He got the ball out quick, which is what we've been wanting him to do all season long. He's got the ball out quick. And the best part, 0 interceptions. 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers against a very opportunistic Eagles team. Sam Howell gave us every possible chance to win. It hurts that we didn't win this game, but going forward, if we go into Thursday playing like we did today, we beat the Bears by 40. And that might not be an exaggeration. Like this was a game you could build on, short and simple.
For sure.
Thing is, though, I'll say this: you mentioned us being a playoff team. I'm not so sure about that until we actually pull consistent performances. Maybe they don't have to be at the level of this one, but way better than what we saw last week. You gotta find some happy balance, man. Like because playoff teams, bro, they're more consistent than what we've shown this season, and I like our chances, but I don't think we can talk playoffs at this point.
I mean, no, I think Evan has a point. The main thing, though, we talked about this before the call. The easiest stretch of our season is coming up. I think it's the easiest stretch that we have all season. You know, we're going to Chicago, then we have Giants. We are facing.
Whoa. Easy Giants.
We got Atlanta.
They've had our number, bro. They've had our number. How can we say no?
Now you got a point, bro. Hey, Daniel Jones, vanilla victory, bro. Daniel Jones kills us, bro. I can't lie. He kills us, bro.
We say
they don't have Sam Howell's number though, baby.
I know. Hey, Nazi, I know you're a pessimist, but what I'm trying to say, I'm saying that statistically, this is the easiest stretch of our season. I don't care.
He's got a point.
Statistically, we can go
but we can't say the Giants are winnable. Like they're easy cake.
I'm not saying
they're winnable though.
It's winnable.
I'm saying that if we go 2, we go 3-0, we go 2-1, we are a playoff team. Because like you said, the playoff teams beat the brakes off bad teams, and then they split against other good teams. So we got Chicago, not a good team. We win. Atlanta. That's actually, Atlanta's kind of like
Atlanta's decent. That's going to be our biggest test of the 3.
Yeah, so there's a game too. Playoff teams beat other good teams or they split. So it's okay we lose there. And then Giants, we win. We're a playoff team because we can prove we can beat the bad teams and then we can split with the good ones. I'm not saying we're a Super Bowl contender, but Evan's got a point. If we can go 2-1 or 3-0, we're a playoff team. We can beat the good teams like Atlanta. They got a really underrated defense. The only reason they lost today is their offense with Desmond Ridder is questionable. And then you got the Giants, who are a bad team, and then the Bears are a bad team. I'm not saying that we're guaranteed to win, but if we do win, then I strongly support what Evan says. We're a playoff team because playoff teams can beat the bad teams, and they can at least go 50 to 75% against the good teams.
Yeah.
I agree. But Brandon, shout out to Brandon, longtime supporter of the channel. But Cowboys fan, but it's okay. We appreciate the love in the chat. But again, bro, this feels like deja vu. Last year we were saying the same exact things. We have the better team. We have the better defense. We have the better roster. We're gonna go in there and beat the Giants off their breaks. We're gonna have a great performance. And then we lost one game and we tied the other. Like we can't just go in there saying like, I'm not saying I'm just saying like a lot of people saying that Giants are, oh my gosh, like, oh, that's cake, that's gonna be a cakewalk.
Yeah, but like
but that's not what we're saying.
I know. I'm saying not I know. I'm not saying that's what you're saying. No, I'm just saying like in general for there are people out there that think that the Giants are gonna be like super easy or like they're their level of the Bears. And while record wise they might be,
they're not doing that. They're not that bad.
Yeah, no one's as bad as the Bears after what happened today. No one's as bad as the Bears. But I do want to say, right? I think
when you say no one,
I'm joking.
When you say no one.
Who do you have in mind, Evan?
Maybe Carolina.
Oh shoot, yeah, low key.
Yeah.
I don't know,
but Nadia, I want to say like I remember last year when we were saying, oh, we have the better team and we should win. But I think it's still the same from last year to this year. We have the better team, but last year everyone knew we didn't have the quarterback. This year we still have the better team and we have a better quarterback. So all I'm saying is we're New York at, man, because they still got Vanilla Vic. Well, he only turns into Vanilla Vic against us, but he only turns into Vanilla Vic against us. But outside of that, Daniel Jones is come on, bro. Like I still can't fathom that they won a playoff game last year. Like shout out the Vikings. Like
and also to be fair, at this point last year we were coming off a loss to Dallas, and at that point we lost back-to-back points by double digits. So if nothing else, there's been some improvement.
This is a fair point. This is a
fair and we have Eric B. Now.
Yeah,
Eric B. as well. He called a great game, by the way. Called a great game, bro.
Yeah, I think we can. I'll start off with the offense. I think today everyone was involved. Curtis Samuel was getting involved early with that jet sweep touchdown. Logan Thomas took a big hit after almost getting knocked out a couple weeks ago. Took it to the chin. Jahan Dotson was really couldn't find him until the end of the last play of regulation of the fourth quarter. Touchdown. That was good to see. Single coverage. I don't know what the Eagles defensive coordinator was thinking, putting in single coverage with one last play left. Terry McLaurin is a baller. I think he just Darius Slay even said last year that he is just one of the toughest receivers to guard. There are times where he was holding him. I still think he was in on that last overtime play where it was 3rd and 5. Howell throws a beautiful ball, like a centimeter maybe in the white. But offensively, offensive line only gave up 4 sacks today. I mean, Howell, he was still running away from it, for his life. Go ahead, Evan. You want to say something?
It was 5.
It was 5. My bad. It was 5.
But only 32 yards though. So
yeah, I agree.
Again, they played decent. That doesn't justify their performance. Though.
Yeah,
they played decent. The offensive line was decent today.
5 sacks
compared to other weeks.
By their standards.
How many sacks?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
5.
No, in terms of the last 4 games, 5 sacks. We have 9 sacks, right?
We had 19 coming in, I'm pretty sure. So we have 24 in total now. Shout out Kobe.
4 games. That's 4 games.
No, but I'm trying to say we had a decent. The offensive line had a decent performance this game by our standards. If it was like any other team, we would have looked at damn, 5 sacks. Yeah, no, it's not good. But by our standards, it didn't justify.
I think that's gonna kill our season, man. Our offensive line. I think a lot of us said that before the season started.
Dude,
yeah, I don't think what we've seen this far.
This offseason, it needs to just be offensive line. You have to upgrade at every single position. Those top 5 guys, man.
I like Sadiq Charles though. He's
he did. Wally got to go though.
Didn't hear his name called once. Didn't hear his name called once today. No penalties. Not him getting beat or embarrassed by Philly's D line. Didn't hear his name get called.
He was healthy. That's good. He's been healthy. That's good.
We're gonna need replacements for Leno. We're gonna need replacements for Wiley. Mr. $8 million a year. We're gonna need replacements for Nick Gates. I don't know. But
go ahead and take 71 out of the number.
I think tackles are main priority, bro.
We should take the number 71 out of rotation.
But he's getting paid $8 million this year. Evan.
Yeah, especially unless we don't get. Yeah,
but change his number though. But changes, give him 72 or something, 69 something.
69.
Give him 70.
Yeah, I think Brian Robinson was running vicious. I mean that fumble. Week, bro, he was playing with 4 guys, but Terry McLaurin.
Who did he truck on that touchdown? Yeah, he almost got it, bro. He laid somebody out.
Where does Brian Robinson rank?
That was Nakobe Dean. Brian Robinson rolled over Nakobe Dean. Was a pretty good linebacker. So
where does Brian Robinson rank in terms of touchdowns scored by running backs this year? Because he got to be up there.
Top 5, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he's had a touchdown in every single game this year.
Hey, running backs recently, performance-wise, they've been dipping down. And Brian Robinson, he's been going up. So
no, he didn't have a touchdown every single game because we didn't score a touchdown against the Bills. But every other game he had
40 points.
But yeah, dude, Brian Robinson, he's climbing the ranks against as these running backs, dude, and he's consistent, and he always gets positive yards, bro. He always gets positive yards.
That's another point. That's another thing the offense did really well today. 4 trips to the red zone that ended in touchdowns. 4. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to ask y'all though. I know we were talking about before we started this. Would y'all have went for 2 after we scored?
That was the question.
Scored a touchdown.
No.
I always believe in going for two. Because if you do, like, look at it though. Let's look at it real quick. Hold on. Before you guys say no, right?
Analytics.
Hold up. I will say from the analytics perspective, it does support Naeem. Because from the analytics, you have a higher percentage. You raise your victory percentage every time you go for two. That's why technically, like, if you were a pure analytics guy, you would actually always go for it on fourth down, and you'd always go for two because it would always eventually even out conversion wise.
So telling me you got a 4th and 20 at your own 5-yard line?
Okay, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
That's why the analytics there. The analytics there.
I think common sense comes into that one, but like
down there somewhere.
For me, it's you get 2 yards, right, and you win the game, or obviously you don't get it and you lose, or you leave it up to chance, heads or tails. I mean, we won that this time, but and then you got to drive down the field 75 yards, whatever it may be, or you get stopped like how we did, and then you got to stop them, and then you got to come back and get a field goal, or you can just get 2 yards and win. I think that's always the right play call. Whether you get it or not, that's a different story. But I wouldn't be mad at any head coach going for 2 in that situation and living with the results. So I think
Campbell's a good example. Doug Peterson, they're both guys that go fourth down a lot.
Yeah.
Jaguars, their conversion rate this year is pretty bad. It's just under 30% on fourth down, which is terrible. But the Lions, you see their games. The big reason they are surging right now is because they go for it on fourth down. They went in. It was 4th and 5. Game 2 of the season for the Lions, they were on a 4th and 5 situation in their own 30, and they still went for it. So I mean, that's the difference between winning and losing a game. I get what you're saying, but for this Commanders team, the law of averages, the fourth down analytics everyone loves to talk about, only applies if you go for it almost all the time. But we didn't go for it fourth down often. The chances are not in our favor. So I understand the call there. In that situation, I don't know if I've gone for it. But I see what you're saying, because it's like we don't know. You don't want to play the chance, because let's be real here, the Commanders, if the Eagles had gotten the balls first, they would have scored anyways because our defense couldn't stop them. So I see what you're saying. But, yeah, I mean, Rivera's done it in the past. I think right now, though.
This one's fair.
However, if that Eagles' first possession would have went the same way that their possession ended up going in overtime, Sam Howell still has a chance to go down and win the game, because that's only a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
So who's to say in that situation he doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
I just think like the team drove down the field really quickly. They were gassed. I think that's what Norman Rivera said in his post-game press conference as well. Like, I completely understand the decision to not go for 2. Also, like, I mean, you had the momentum, and honestly, I don't even think we should be really having. I mean, I get this conversation. I think it's important, but it's not like we didn't get the ball first in overtime and we didn't do anything with that opportunity. So it's like, at the end of the day, I get it. Like, the people who are mad that we didn't go for 2, you could have ended the game right there, but we could have easily just lost the game right there as well. The Eagles were, I mean, they were tough. And
for me, that call, you can't go bad either way. I mean, if you kick the field goal, you're guaranteeing for the game to continue, and you still having a chance. So, like, you can't go wrong either way, for me at least. But I feel like the 2 just a better decision in my eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think another, from the moral perspective, it shows that Ron Rivera trusts your own quarterback. Right now, that's clearly because they don't go for it. They've been very conservative in general this season. I know that he's trying to play it safe, trying to go, hey, let's build Howell up, which he said is actually a good thing. But then also, like you said, somebody just got to put it in the hands of your quarterback, see what you got. I mean, I saw the same with Bryce Young, in that situation against the Vikings. They just said go. Same with C.J. Stroud. I think a big reason why the Texans are the hottest team in the league right now.
C.J. Stroud.
Steelers.
He's breaking the Ohio State quarterback curse, bro.
I know. But a big part of that, though, is you look at them. But in the preseason, most experts said that they have the worst receiving core in the league. They said Tank Dell, who? They said Nico Collins, who? Robert Woods is washed. But D'Amico Ryan said up to him, he'll probably win Coach of the Year at this rate. He said, no, we have a good receiving core. They didn't even bother to try to get anybody in. They just said, we'll trust these guys, and they're going to trust Stroud.
Schultz. Yeah. They brought in Schultz from the Cowboys.
Exactly. And the funny part is they don't even use Schultz that much. They have Nico Collins literally single-handedly destroyed the Steelers today. And I remember watching him last year. I saw he had a lot of talent, but nope, everybody gave up on the Texans. I think Rivera needs to just – I think that's what I'm saying. We go back to Forbes. There has to be a moment where you just go, we got to trust this guy. We got to trust somebody because the Texans have been doing that. Let's just trust them. Let's just trust around.
No.
And, yeah, so.
No, I get that. And sorry, I get that. I also want to say, like, to keep going, is that, situations or context is important. This coaching staff, Ron Rivera specifically, his job is on the line. He needs to win games. He showed that last year with every decision he made. He thought, putting in Taylor Heineke last game of the season would give him his best chance of getting that 8th win, because it would look nice to have 8 wins on a season that was a lost season because we weren't going to make the playoffs at that point. And I think with Ron, he needs to win. He needs to win. And I think maximizing your opportunity to win did not mean putting Forbes on A.J. Brown in late game situations at the end of the game. I thought Fuller should have been on him, or at worst, St. Juice, but Forbes was just not ready for the moment. He wasn't ready. I'm sorry, but that's why. Like, if it was a completely new coaching staff, we're starting over and all that, okay. But Ron Rivera, his job is on the line this year. So,
I mean, it could be said, but that's what I'm saying, though. But Rivera needs to just take more risks. Yeah, I mean, D'Amico Ryans, you think has job security? They're the worst. Before the season, they're supposed to be the worst team in the league. So that's the thing. He might be a Texans legend, but I don't know if there's job security for a rebuilding team. And on top of that, there's no Laramie Tunsil, no starting right guard. They lost half of their offensive line, and they still passed it more than they still passed it. Damian Pierce is in a purgatory right now because they choose to throw the ball, and that's what I'm saying. That Rivera needs to be more aggressive. If his job's on the line, you got to be more risky. Being conservative doesn't work, especially in the modern NFL. It doesn't work. So if I was Rivera, I'm going way risky. I got to keep going risky because at this point, you got nothing to lose. You're gonna get fired anyways. You gotta go out swinging, and I think that's the mentality too. Because it rallies. If the team culture is important on a football team. If they truly are a good culture, we got the new owner, we got all this stuff, then you're gonna rally around a guy you know is gonna get fired. You're gonna take the risks. D'Amico Ryans is so good because he has experience being a captain, of being a Pro Bowl linebacker that can create a culture. He said, we're going to go out there swinging. We're going to go out there and leave it all out there. Jacksonville was heavy favorites, and they said, we're going to throw the ball. I don't care if they have Tyson Campbell, because that's the thing, too. The Jaguars have a good secondary. They say, we don't care. We're going to throw it right at them. That's what the Commanders need to do if we want to become a playoff team, because being conservative doesn't work because every team has decent enough talent. I think they're finally starting to do that on offense. They said, Gibson, if Gibson's going to mess up, you're going to sit on the bench, and Brian Robinson's going to carry it as much as we can. I think that's why the Bills, yes, we got destroyed, but they set a good tone because they started towards the end of the game. I really started seeing the play calling was with reckless abandon, and that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to win some games. Like you said, if we don't do that, the Giants are going to win. We're going to lose to the Giants. We might even lose to the Bears if we play more conservatively. So I'm saying that if you're going to get fired, it's against convention, but you have to be riskier when you're about to get fired because you have nothing to lose. You have to do everything because you know what's before is not going to work. So I'm hoping next week we're going to see some much more aggressive play calling. I want to see towards the end of that game. That's the thing about why we even got so close to the Eagles in the first place. They were starting to become very aggressive. We just said, screw it. We're going to throw the ball. Then Jahan Dotson, he was 0 for 5 in the first half. Then he got a touchdown at the end of the game. We said, we're going to keep throwing the fucking ball. I mean, football came out.
He said fudging. He said fudging.
Fudging. Yeah.
We're gonna keep throwing the ball, and it doesn't because we're already gonna lose anyways. We got to keep throwing the ball, and look how Dotson responded. Touchdown. Same with Curtis Samuel. We have a gadget player on this field that we don't use. Second half shows what Rivera and honestly. That's where the OC comes in. That's where the enemy comes in. Because that's what made the Chiefs so good. They were aggressive. They're extremely aggressive. And that's how you win in this league. You cannot play conservative. There's not a single team in this league that wins conservatively. Look at the Falcons and the Raiders. They play extremely conservative, and they can't win ball games because they only start throwing the ball when they're losing. You got to start throwing the ball in the beginning, the middle, and the end. And we have the talent. Brian Robinson has shown, too, he can catch out of the backfield. Gibson, Fumblerooski, he can still catch the ball in the backfield.
Bro, he dropped it off a pitch, bro.
All right. guys.
He dropped
so,
off a handoff.
Oh,
Before
I got
continue,
one point to make real quick.
yeah, before
You
we
want to know
continue,
another reason? You want to know another reason why like this game was so close? We didn't beat ourselves.
Mhm.
Like, we didn't take too many stupid penalties. Just 7 penalties the whole game for like what 48 yards, something like that. We didn't beat ourselves. Like we're on the right track.
Mhm.
agreed, Evan. Also, before we continue,
Good
so about 60 seconds on the clock. I do have to go, but really quickly wrap up my thoughts. Like again, gritty win or win, gritty loss.
My God.
That was almost a win.
Now we
That was
gonna get
almost a
flipped
win.
into oblivion.
That was almost a win. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm someone. Maybe others share a different mindset, but my mindset is there is no such thing as a good loss. We did lose today. We're 2-2. There are some good things to pull from the loss, but at the end of the day, we have Chicago coming up on Thursday. It should be a good game, and hopefully, you know, our offense could do some good things, and our defense could play much better. Hopefully, force some turnovers on Justin Fields. But that is no given because Fields can run the ball, and we've struggled mightily against quarterbacks that can run the ball. So we shall see. Hopefully, we get that W on Thursday, go up 3-2. But yeah, appreciate you guys for having me on. Abdullah will continue to lead the way, and see you guys. Peace out.
The group leader is gone. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, dude. I think that's my boy Matt. He's just trolling. He's an Eagles fan. But I think today, dude, I guess we can talk about some other things that happened. The Devontae Smith catch at the end of the first half was insane, dude. Like Emmanuel Forbes, he did a pretty good job. Emmanuel Forbes is getting torched today, but that was a great catch by Devontae Smith.
I still said the ball hit the ground.
Yeah, I know. I thought it did, bro. I was like,
I thought it was clean.
I thought it did too.
Yeah, I think it was similar to Quentin Johnson just had a catch in the first quarter against the Raiders. It was one of those borderline catches. And we know we're in a league that favors offense. So if there's no clear evidence to overturn, I do support the decision. I mean, it wasn't clearly not a catch. So you're always going to favor in the favor of the offense. Because that will benefit us maybe in a game. So like it wasn't terrible.
Jalen Hurts, I mean, he was doing stuff with his legs. Jalen Hurts doing Jalen Hurts things. He's a stud. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, I didn't think he was a franchise guy, but man, that is one take that is definitely a whole 180. That guy looks elite, bro. The Eagles, I mean, yeah, AJ Brown, was it 175 yards? He was just doing whatever he wants against us. And again, Forbes, I think I don't want to harp on him too much because people are going to call me a hater. But again, a big reason why I drafted him is because of his takeaways. And so far, when the ball is in his direction, he just drops it. And they always harp on the fact that, hey, led the college and pick sixes in this program, like blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, we drafted you for a reason. If you're getting torched, at least get it back by getting interceptions when the ball is coming to you. But again, he's young. I got a lot of a lot of hate for saying that. Oh yeah, we should have picked Gonzalez over Forbes. It is early. I did compare it to the Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson situation. That's kind of crazy in my opinion.
That's a little too far.
That's where you lose.
Yeah, that is way too
hard. Yeah, I know. It's my fault. I literally after I posted that, all my friends were texting me saying, "Bro, like, what the hell? Like, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, hey, at least we'll get some attention. People comment section, the algorithm. I'm thinking outside.
That's the box. That's a skip moment. Skip.
that is a skip moment.
Yeah, I agree. But Forbes, I got to give him time, man.
My man went on Twitter and said, I want Iguodala.
Quan Martin, I mean, I don't think he played today, right? I don't think he did.
No.
Let's talk about the rookie class. Chase Young had a sack today. I mean, hey, he did something. That was great to see. Just trying his best to put pressure. I think he was in the backfield a lot, too. Defensive line, I want to say they're elite, but there are times where they're just even the commentators are saying hey, this great defensive line versus a great offensive line, and they're just saying times in the games where oh, where is this defensive line? So I don't know. Hopefully they pick it up come the next couple of weeks when they're playing against the Bears and Giants and Falcons. But I guess Tressway, that's one guy that we don't usually talk about. That was a terrible punt in that what was it? It was in overtime when the Eagles had at the 40-yard line. It was great field position for them. Am I missing anything else, guys? I don't think so. I think we talked about everything.
I think we got it.
Yeah, I think the only other thing that I was thinking about was On the offensive side of the ball, I guess it ties into, I think as the enemy gets more accustomed to the personnel that he has, I think they need to be more aggressive. They have way too many gadget players to not be more creative with the ball. I think another thing too is I think we got the first step done. More aggressive. We are more aggressive in our play calling, but we know that the enemy can be super creative. We have Gibson. Yeah, okay, he gets a lot of hate. Gibson, Samuel, Dotson. Why don't we do a little more creativity? Because even the Cardinals, I mean, come on, the Cardinals are more creative than us at this point. You saw Rondale Moore against the Cowboys. They used him as a running back, used him as a slot outside. We have too many weapons to not be more creative. I think that's the only thing I kind of observed, that if we do want to be, as Evan said, a playoff team, we got to be way more creative. Because right now we're kind of relying on aggressive, traditional play it safe, inside zone, second down, slant, try to convert with a run on third and short. That's really textbook football. But if we do want to be something else that's not, as a playoff team, got to be way more creative. You see the Bills start doing that. But I think it's just let's wait and see. It's only 4 games into the season, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback. I know Howell can make the play too. Like, that's the thing. He has the talent to make the plays. But that's the only thing I'm going to be observing heading into, the game against the Bears. Can we be more creative? Because we're already more aggressive. Let's be more creative.
Evan?
I gotta head off in a couple minutes, but what I gotta say is I'm gonna be at the game Thursday. So Commanders fans, I want y'all. We're gonna pack FedEx Field. We're
gonna clip, bro.
Actual home field advantage. All right, we actually have a home field advantage. We are going to use it. We're showing up. We're giving the Bears hell. We're giving them all they can handle.
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. Oh,
he left on that note. No, I don't know. Do you have to go? I still want to talk a little bit more.
No, I can stay on a little bit longer.
Naeem, you good?
Yeah, I'm good for a little bit.
Sam Howell, you talked about him. One thing that does scare about me, he's got wheels, but bro, sometimes he does not slide. He likes taking hits, and I get so scared because, bro, if you're the NFL defensive coordinator, when that quarterback's behind, front of that line of scrimmage scrambling, you just want to just kill the dude. And I'm scared that he's gonna get hurt. I mean, we saw with RG3, so hopefully he learns to slide down, not take hits. Going back to Jack Del Rio, bro, the soft coverage, and the fact that there were times where I saw Cody Barton guarding or trying to guard Devontae Smith or some other receivers. The mismatch was a nightmare. Jamin Davis is the guy to talk about. I think he's been playing better. Obviously, the baseline for him is down here, but every week by week, it's hey, he's doing something. He's getting his name out there. What do you guys think? Am I missing it? I think that's pretty much it.
Well, actually, you're talking about Jamin Davis. You know who he reminds you a lot? Is Quay Walker from the Packers. I feel like every franchise that's on the rise, it's that same concept with offense and defense. We want to see who you have, and I think that's one thing with Quay Walker. He makes mistakes. Clearly, he got blamed for so much for some reason when they lost to the Lions. Jamin Davis last year was like Quay Walker. He was our scapegoat. I think Forbes is slowly becoming the scapegoat, which allows Davis to kind of free flow and do his thing. But it's the same concept. Quay Walker had 20 tackles, and everyone thought he was the reason the Packers lost. I think Davis is finally in a better situation where he's not the guy getting blamed.
That's true.
But that's what we need to be careful of as a fan base. Let's not blame Forbes. Let's not blame Davis. We can't blame anybody. An individual player. It's the holistic offense. That's why, even though I said, Chase Young, Jadeveon Clowney's still a Pro Bowl run stopper. I'm not saying Chase Young is bad, and nowhere can he be blamed for anything. It's a very, defense in the modern NFL can only be observed by unit. I think there's very few players that can really elevate a defense. The only few is, Chris Jones, a Max Crosby, a Joey Bosa. There's only 5 of them. There's only 4 or 5 players on the defensive side of the ball that I can truly say they elevate their defense. And I think that's the thing with this unit with the Commanders. We have a lot of good talent, Jonathan Allen, De'Aaron Payne, all these guys. I don't think they're guys that can elevate a defense. So then why are we blaming rookies? Why are we blaming third-year players? Right? Why we can't blame any of these players. So it's I think something that Del Rio's going to have to figure out too, because Del Rio is from, like I said, the downside of being an old school defensive coordinator is he's used to the era where you have a superstar on your defense. Every team had a superstar because also you could blow somebody's head off and not get suspended. You had an elite, Ray Lewis type. Even when he was younger, he had a lot of really good players. Charles Woodson on his team. He had a game-breaking defensive player. I think he's trying to do that with Forbes, trying to make him into the game-breaking corner. I don't know if he can be that. And honestly, that's what I'm saying. Even if he had Gonzalez, I don't think he'd be what he is now on the Commanders, because the Patriots are the defense is one of the best in football for a reason, because they can spread out the ball. They also have Marcus Jones. They have a better Kyle Duggar. They have literally a better defense, a secondary than us. And I love Curl. I think Curl could be a Pro Bowl safety, but the quality of DB in the Commanders cannot be compared. So now you're asking Forbes to do way more than Gonzalez. Because the thing is, Gonzalez gets safety help even in the game against Tyreek Hill. He had the big interception, but every time Hill is going against Gonzalez, he got Duggar over the top. He always has help. So Forbes didn't get any help. And yes, some of his press technique was a little bit off, but yeah, I think that's one of those things. That's what I'm saying. Pretty satisfied, even though it was a loss. I know Nazi's, the negative one, and I tend to be the positive one at times. But I think that's just the case. It's way too early in the season. We're 2-2. We're not like the Raiders or the Bears who are in panic mode. They should be in panic mode.
No, 0-4 after how much money they spent in this offseason? That's insane.
The scary part too is Fields had a good game, 4 touchdowns.
Dude, I started in fantasy, Noah.
Bro, it's that Broncos D. I ain't listening to it. It's that Broncos.
Broncos D. Come on,
bro. I'm sorry. I think I remember we did a preview season video or whatever. I remember I was with Abdullah. It was either on DMVSportsZone or it was either one of my channels. I remember Abdullah had like the Bears as a sleeper team. You remember that, Abdullah? Did you have them? Yeah, I was cooking you for that because, dude, Justin Fields is not a pocket passer, man.
Here we go.
No, he's not, bro. He's not a pocket passer.
No, let's drive down here. Mahad Abdi is the biggest Justin Fields fan out there, and he still thinks he's a franchise quarterback.
No, he's not. He's not a pocket passer, bro.
Fields. Okay, the pocket passing era is dead. There is no franchise quarterback.
But you still need a little bit of that, and I just watch him. And every time he throws the ball, it's just like he has that weird slow motion. It just doesn't give me good vibes. I don't know, man. Justin Fields, he's a scrambler. Don't get me wrong, but he's just I'd say he's a Walmart version of Lamar Jackson. I'd say.
Oh, Walmart. I see what you're saying.
And even as much as they call Lamar Jackson a running back, Lamar Jackson can pass the ball. I think he's very, very underrated as a pocket passer and passing the ball. They say, he's a running back. He can throw the ball. Don't get it wrong. Lamar Jackson throws the ball. Justin Fields.
If anyone calls Lamar a running back, they're just a casual. Because there's literally no evidence to suggest Lamar is a running back. In fact, I think you saw the Ravens. I think the Ravens are a Super Bowl favorite. We want to talk about DMVSportsZone. We want to talk about the Ravens a little more if we have some time. I think the Ravens are a Super Bowl favorite, and that's not even a homer take. They got a good defense. They have arguably, in my opinion, the best linebacking core in the league, which is crazy to say. But, and also you want to talk about development. Kyle Hamilton in 1 year went from this guy might be drafted too high to a baller. This man might make a Pro Bowl a year or two. And I'm like, I wanted the Commanders to get him so badly when he's slipping in the draft.
Too.
Oh my God! Of course he's still in the DMV. He's not on the Commanders though. But the Ravens. Yeah. Really, really good win today. I know they had Dorian Thompson-Robinson, instead of Deshaun Watson. But each of we talk about how the Commanders can elevate themselves as a playoff team. Why not look to the big bros up north? The Ravens, every game, regardless if it's win or lose, they look like they're going to win. That's the thing about playoff teams. That's why everyone's so surprised about the Bengals, because the reason that they should be scared is they don't look like they can win. Like the Bengals on paper look good. They don't look like they're going to win any game, and they don't win games. When the Ravens lose a game, they're like, oh, I'm surprised by that. I'm surprised they lost that game. I think Commanders right now, they're still right in the middle. There's a lot of moments, even today, like I said, the first half, I'm like, we're going to lose by 40. I don't think it was going to be good. And then second half, wow, we can win. The Commanders should have won that game. The whole call we had, we thought they're going to win the game. So if the Commanders can elevate to that point, I think that the Ravens can, we might have some good football in the DMV, but very excited to see the Ravens. I think, like I said, Lamar, Zay Flowers is crazy again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. Zay Flowers is not any better than Terry. He's not. I mean, Curtis, he's like a little bit better than Curtis Samuel. So we got the weapons. The enemy just got to be more creative, and I think we're in a good place.
Yeah, and the fact that they traded for Roquan Smith. I mean, like everything they do as an organization is just so much better than what we do for the past 20 years. Obviously, ownership, hopefully they can change that narrative. But yeah, Ravens are Ravens, man. They're good. They're 3-1. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Just wrap it up. 45 minutes Sunday. Yeah, we're 2-2 after the first 4 weeks already, bro. Week 5 is next week. That is insane. NFL season flies by when you're in it, bro. We got the Bears coming up on Thursday Night Football. Amazon, my boy Jeff, not my boy, Jeff Bezos. Why I say my boy? My boy Josh Harris. Thursday night, his first game at FedEx. I'm hyped. I think it should be. I mean, I'm not gonna say cakewalk. I'm not like Naeem right here, who wants to like undermine their opponents.
And we'll be
But
back here. We'll be back.
We'll see. I think we can have a good game, bounce back from this gut punching loss, stinger of a loss, and yeah, we can be 3-2. I think we're good. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
No, just shout out to the stream. I see a lot of people hopping on and good opinions all around. And like I said, Foster cover, shout out to him. Yeah, Thursday you'll be 3-2. Well, let's hope so. Let's knock on some wood here. Yeah. Any given Thursday, any given Sunday to have a beat, but if we be more creative, we're gonna win. So
definitely. No, you have something to say? No.
I mean, I already said my piece. Shout out Pasta covers, like Noah said. Thursday you'll be 3-2. I'm happy he knows that as well. I'll be back. I'll be back. Hey, shout out Mahad. But yeah, I'll be back Thursday. Bragging about how I was right all week about blowing out the Bears. So see me then.
Yep. Please make sure you are like, comment, subscribe to DMVSportsZone channel. We can push out as much fire content out there as possible. Follow us on all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at DMVSportsZone. I've been posting Instagram reels. They have been getting views. It's been awesome, dude. Naeem brought up the idea of posting more Instagram reels, more YouTube shorts. So shout out to him for that. Thank you guys for all the support. 2-2. Virginia Tech did win yesterday against Pittsburgh. I was there. Lane Stadium was electric. 1-on-1 weekend for me as being a fan, but hey, we got Thursday night coming up, and we're out. Peace.